And again, this is unprivileged, right? This is the Tomcat user. What we really want to see is some zeros here, right? The user ID of 0 would be root, group ID, maybe you're part of the root group, effective user ID, whatever. Any zeros here would be good, but as you can see, there are none of these are set to 0. So we have a problem, because if we want to drop our key, right? So we'll drop it down into a shell, and we'll say, figure out where we are. So we're in root, the root directory. So let's try and find that key file here real quick, and we're going to get a permission denied. So let's see, cd root, cd to where the keys are. All right. So we're going to try and put something into authorized keys. And we can't, right? So that's what we want to do in order to create our SSH tunnels, is we need to SSH through this box. So the easiest way to do that is drop a key. And there's a nice metasploit module that will upload your key like a champ and put it in the right place. You don't need to worry about it. But right now, we can't do that because we're not root, so we don't have the permissions. So let's get root. All right. And I happen to know that this one works very well. This is a privilege escalation. So now that we have a shell, basically we're going to run this Linux local privilege escalation through the shell, or through our session that we already have. So it'll be like we're running it right on the box. And there are a couple in here that should work, but I've had good luck with this one landing every time. So our session ID should still be 1. Let me make sure that is our session. Yeah. So it said backgrounding session 1 here, right? So that's the session we just created. And that's the session we want to use the local exploit, privilege escalation exploit through. So we need to add another payload, right? Because this is going to create an entirely separate session. We need to tell it what we want to do, and this same interpreter payload is going to work just fine. And again, we'll set lhost. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this set tac-g flag, so I don't have to keep typing this in. Okay, so now this is set. Localhost is our attack platform. We're going to leave this 4444 here because this is the same payload that was in the prior and our original exploit for the Tomcat manager. right? So this handler is already expecting this payload. If we were using a different type of payload, we would have to start a different service and change this. So that would be an issue. But for right now, since the payloads match, we should be good to go. So let's run this and see what we got. Okay, so if we're lucky, we're going to have some zeros. Sweet. All right, so that's what we want to see. Now we're escalated to root on the box on metasploit up here. Right. So we got through Tomcat. We're a Tomcat user. We started this session. It's our original session. Now we needed to escalate so we could drop some keys and make some configuration changes. So we used this privilege escalation and we started another interpreter session. So now we're down here, right? And now we're going to allow gateway ports and drop public key. So again, if we look at our sessions, so we have two of them going right here. We have our Tomcat user, unprivileged, and then we have our root. Okay, so let's drop some keys, or a key at least. Okay, and this is the one we want. So this is just, all this module does is you could manually do this. You know, we looked at the key file, we could drop down into a shell, copy and paste into the authorized key file, but this is pretty easy. This is pretty nice. So I like using this. And this is just the path to my public key file. And let's see here. And we're going to use session 2. Right? Because that's the one that has root privileges. If we use session 1, it would fail because of a permission error. Right. Okay, let's run it. I have my file path wrong. Let's see what we have here. Oop, I have an A in there. All right. Good deal.